Hey guys, Yuki here and welcome back to another video. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys different ways on how you can color your 3D prints. I wanted to make a video on this because I myself don't have a 3D printer that could print more than one color at the same time. So I thought maybe I could help you guys out by showing you some different ways that you could color your prints. As you guys can see right now, I'm 3D printing some crewmates from the video game Among Us. I'm going to be using them to show you guys different ways on how you can paint your 3D prints. Alright, so let's dive right in. So the first method I'm going to be trying out is the permanent marker method. So I'm going to be using a black Sharpie and I'm just going to be coloring in the first crewmate. Okay, so one issue with coloring in your prints with the marker is that the ink is not going to set into the plastic. So I would recommend going over the ink with a clear coating of some sort, just to keep it from smudging. But other than that, coloring your prints with the marker is not a bad idea. Another method you guys can try out is applying acrylic paint to the print. So for this method, I'm going to be using a red acrylic paint and I'm going to be applying it with a small brush. So one problem with this method is that the final outcome of your print is going to look very messy. This is because of the many layers of paint you have to put on the print. And because of it, you're going to be seeing a lot of brush strokes around the print. I suggest that in order to minimize the number of brush strokes on your print is to brush in the same direction all around the print. It'll make it look nicer and much more professional. Now for this last method, it's going to require an airbrush. Now if you don't have one, that's fine, but I recommend one if you want to have better quality of color on your prints. Before you start coloring with your airbrush, put a piece of paper underneath your print in order to prevent spraying on the table or surface you're on. If you're going to use an airbrush, make sure you're not spraying too close to the print. Try to keep at a good distance so that way the paint gets evenly distributed. Speaking of which, make sure you're evenly distributing the paint around the print first. And allow each layer to dry before you apply the next. So that way, when you apply the next layer, the previous layer won't get blown away by the airbrush. As you guys can see, we've already gotten a better quality with the airbrush. Now, you guys don't have to use an airbrush if you don't have it. Spray paint works as well. But if you were to use an airbrush, you can already see the difference from the previous two methods. it's already picked up a lot more details, and it was able to get itself into the little nooks and crannies a lot easier as well. Alright, so after reviewing all those methods, I think it's clear and it's fair to say that the airbrush method is the best method for getting better detail and better color in your prints. Now obviously, if you guys don't have an airbrush, I recommend buying one, but if you have spray paint lying around, then I recommend using that as well. And if you guys don't have any of those, feel free to use the other two methods. They're just as good, you just won't be seeing as great quality as you would see with the spray paint method. Alright, and with that conclusion, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And if you guys have any suggestions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And with all that done and said, I will see you guys in the next one.